What is up, guys? Welcome to Barrookie. I'm very excited to make this video here because this year, the 5th of February, I started to go on a journey to do dips again. I started with 5 sets of 5 repetitions with a very heavy assisted rubber band. And at that time, I set a goal to reach 5 sets of 12 repetitions on the dips. The goal here of this series is to do 5 sets of 12 repetitions without any pain. Today we finally reached that goal after 6 months of trial and error, of getting that technique dialed down and to make sure that everything worked perfectly without hurting this little guy here. So in today's video I want to show my 5 sets, but I also want to recap what I've learned throughout the 6-month journey. So the first thing is getting back to dips for 6 months. That sounds like such a long time if you think about it. But what you don't know is the fact that it has been 5 years after I suffered from costochondritis, and I've never been able to do dips like today before. So that means that 5 years of doing nothing and staying away from dips didn't really help me to get back to doing dips. What did help me was a slow process, progress every single week, building back that capacity to do dips again. And 6 months compared to 5 years, that is nothing. So here the takeaway is, don't sweat it if you have to take a long time to get back to doing your exercises. There is still plenty of time to work out, to lift. It's better to get a good technique and lift pain-free and go a little bit slower on the process than to rush it all and then have to go back to square one. So this is really one of the most important things that I wanted to share with this series. Now another thing is technique. Like, we are very asymmetrical due to our daily activities. Now that is a little bit difficult if you try to do a symmetric exercise like the dip, where your shoulders, your elbows, everything needs to push in symmetry in order to have a good form. Now along the way I struggled with my shoulder because my right shoulder was a little bit looser and wasn't as stable as my left shoulder. So by tackling that problem, I could dip pain-free and focus more on a good execution and focus more on my sternum as a whole. So I had to fix that symmetry and I had to fix my shoulder stability in order to do my dips. And I didn't have to stop training, I just had to figure a way to train while getting stronger at the weak points. That is another takeaway. One of the biggest ones that I made recently was looking forward. Looking downwards and dipping, for me personally, puts a lot of pressure on my sternum because everything collapses here in the front. And there was one repetition in these 60 of today that I did that and I've immediately felt like a sharp pain that went through my sternum. So very important is to look forward and to make sure that your chest stays nice and open. Not in a way where you want to pop your sternum, but more in a way where you want to make sure you don't put unnecessary pressure on that sternum. So that way you can do dips if you keep on looking forward. And because I was not looking in the mirror today, it was very difficult to keep focus at just the wall, but it went pretty smooth, I must admit. Another thing that you need to know if you want to work on technique is that you have to take it slow in the execution of the repetitions. So if you go too fast, you don't have as much control as if you would go down slowly and go back up slowly. And that is really something I had to do in order to gain control over my shoulder and also to gain control over my sternum by not pushing too much through my sternum, but really making sure that everything worked together. It's better to take it slowly, do something that works for you, do something that doesn't hurt, and slowly build up. I think that is the main takeaway. I thank all of you guys who followed this series or who just embarked on it right now. I hope this will motivate you, or those who have costochondritis or hurting on their sternum or anywhere, even if it's your shoulder that aches, that you can get back to exercises, but you have to take it slow. You have to be mindful, be patient, and eventually you will get there. I guarantee that. So yeah, thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I guess I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Oh wait, before we end this video, we're not going to do too much videos on dips and sternum pain anymore. But what I am going to focus now is weighted dips, and hopefully once I'm happy to show something, yeah, you will see some progress. So I guess I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Bye!